much, you clueless asshole. Anyway, I'm not gonna let that bother me. Gotta laugh that stuff off. I'll tell you what, there are a lot of incredibly oblivious car drivers. Just no clue that they're just bopping along an 80,000-pound behemoth that wants to roll over them. They just have no care in the world. Anyway, nor, I guess, do they have to. That's why we have CDL licenses. That's why we are the professional driver. And that is why we, even though we have the greater common sense and often the right of way, we yield to the stupidity and ignorance of those who are not commercial drivers. So there we go. And I'm not saying that all drivers that aren't commercial drivers are ignorant or stupid. That's absolutely not the case. I've seen a lot of really good drivers and some very courteous car drivers that were anticipating exactly what was going on and allowing me to move in or over or what have you. So kudos to those drivers that are actually paying attention and understand what that truck ahead might need to be doing in the next few moves. So there are those out there. So four-wheelers take a lot of heat on trucking channels, but I've seen quite a few that do have a clue and that are very good drivers, so thank God for them. Now, if we could only clone them or have them teach courses, yeah. Anyway, we are driving along in Kentucky again in a very rainy, overcast, gloomy day, but still beautiful country, beautiful landscapes. Just recently passed through Lexington. The Lexington area, Kentucky, is always beautiful. That's horse country. That's where all the race horses are. Yeah, just beautiful properties all over the Lexington area. I'd say that's one of the most picturesque parts of the country as far as just beautiful ranch properties, horse properties. Of course, you don't get to see a lot of that from the highway, but in a former life, I did. I saw quite a bit of them. Some pretty spectacular stuff in the Lexington area. Let me shut that CB off. I'm sorry. So anyway, I think, you know, here's how you know you're driving a truck for a living. After being on the road for a few days, and sometimes it doesn't even take a few days, you don't even remember what happened yesterday. You don't remember what day it is, what time zone you're in, what state you're in, everything becomes a blurred line. I mean, all the memories are there. It's just the timeline, the chronology of them, what happened when, all becomes a blur. And I do not recall where we left off last. I think I may have been at that little mom and pop receiver or shipper in Kingsport, Tennessee. So that was the last place I was. Yeah, that's right. We delivered in Hazard, Kentucky. So that was pretty fun, and very nice people there. Love the people in Kentucky. I love the people in Tennessee. I just love people in the South in general. They're just so nice, just friendly, almost like Canadians. But Canadians are their own ilk. Anyway, here I go again. Tangent. Squirrel. Oh, good God. So yeah, I picked up at a very small little dirt lot, transfer dock, kind of mom and pop little place in the middle of the beautiful landscapes of Tennessee, in Kingsport, Tennessee. Just a lovely area, and the folks there couldn't have been nicer. Just wonderful people, and I did have to wait quite some time. I was stuck there for I don't know, a good few hours. I want to say about 4 hours I was stuck there waiting. But the reason being is that they only had one guy who was their lot guy, their trailer guy, their loading and offloading guy. I mean, he was it. He was a one-man army, that guy. I didn't catch his name, unfortunately, but he was he's probably a little bit older than I am. I would say probably somewhere in his lower 60s, something like that. Fit guy, You know, just you can tell he's seen some stuff in his life, and very nice, very humble, very soft-spoken. And you know, I felt for the guy. You know, he's just one guy, and he's having to take care of all this stuff. So I was absolutely as patient as I could be. And the guy, he kept coming over every now and then, apologizing for me waiting. And I kept telling him, man, you're a one-man army. You know, do your thing. You know, bless you for doing all of this stuff. I am in, you know, I'm in your hands. Don't worry about it. You load me when you can. Everything will be fine. Don't stress about it. Just do your thing, man. I'm patient. I'll wait. It's no big deal. Comes with the territory. You know, but that's how you treat people, you know. I mean, what am I going to do? Am I going to start getting angry at this guy? Am I going to start getting an attitude? Am I going to start demanding people load? I mean, where's that going to get you? Number one, it's just going to get you pissed off yourself. You're going to let yourself get all riled up. And then you're going to piss off everybody else. And then this poor guy who's busting his ass all day long, now you're pissing all over his parade for no damn reason other than you're just being a jerk. Why do that? I will never understand people that seem to have this need to belittle and bemoan and just be nasty to people. It doesn't get you anywhere. As a matter of fact, quite the contrary. It makes your own life that much more difficult because people don't want to be around you, and they damn sure don't want to work harder for you. So anyway, off the soapbox again. Got loaded, got all done. Again, wonderful folks down there. Got on my way and just found a pilot just north of there because I was out of hours. Parked at that pilot, and there were some heavy storms coming through last night. And I left at the butt crack of dawn. I don't know, it was about 5 o'clock local time there, 5 in the morning, and rolled out of there. And unfortunately, coming up 75, you know, you're coming up through some of the most beautiful mountainscapes there, you know, Smoky Mountains area. And unfortunately, it was pitch black, and it was raining like crazy, and driving wind and stormy. So flipping the cameras on would have gotten you basically a black screen with headlights on the road. That's about all you would have seen. So I wish I could have captured it because I know I've been through there before. Just a stunning scenery there. It's beautiful. So anyway, we're north of Lexington. We're on I-64 heading to I-65. Heading back up the Chicago way, the Chicagoland area. My delivery is going to be north of Chicago, just on the Illinois side of the Illinois-Wisconsin border, which is pretty much the neighborhood where I live. I'm gonna actually stay at a truck stop up there tonight. I have enough hours to get there all the way through, and that'll put me in that truck stop with about, I'll be in my last hour on my clock probably, drive clock, and then overnight there, and then deliver first thing in the morning, and then head down to Joliet with the truck, park it, grab my little car that's parked in Joliet, and drive home and have a couple days off. Wow, check out this bridge. How cool is that? I love bridges. Yes, if you couldn't tell, I'm a complete nerd. Engineering fascinates me. And I'm the guy that watches all of those documentaries about great engineering and bridge construction, building construction, and also the engineering disasters when stuff fails and goes wrong, stuff that was overlooked. And here we are in beautiful Indiana again. So welcome to Indiana. And the journey continues. We are on I-65, just north of Indianapolis. We passed through Indy, I don't know, about a half hour ago, something like that, maybe an hour, I don't know. Time all blends together after a while when you drive. But boy, getting through Indy was a pain in the ass. Well, I mean, number one, they've got I-65 shut down through the downtown area, so you can't take I-65 through Indy. So you have to take, you know, the 465 and 865 bypass ring that goes around Indianapolis, which is all well and good. Adds a little bit of time on top of what 65 straight through would do, but not a big deal, right? So, except for this time around, and I didn't turn the cameras on because one of them wouldn't power up. I didn't want to fiddle with it. I've made a promise to myself that I do not touch or fiddle around with cameras while I'm driving. So, you know, I activate them, voice activated, and tell them to turn on and off with my voice, so that I don't touch them physically. So I'm real strict about that with myself. And so anyway, I didn't turn the cameras on, but there were a few heavy haul trucks. They were carrying gigantic concrete beams for what is surely going to be some big bridge span of a highway. And there were like, I don't know, a string of them, a whole bunch of them. And I mean, these things were big. I mean, I've seen some big beams before, but these suckers, I mean, these heavy haul trucks, they had wheel sets on the back of them with like, I mean, 30 freaking axles. It was ridiculous. I mean, I've never seen anything that huge before. And of course, they had the state police or Indy police, I couldn't make out which, but they had police in front and in back of them, escorting them. They were taking the entirety of I-465. So when I turned on to 465, I caught that rolling roadblock. And of course, they had to go very slow because those massive concrete beams, you know, they're not designed to be shaken. Concrete is brittle, so they're enormously strong, but you know, they can take a lot of pounding. So yeah, but it was cool. It was cool to see a whole bunch of police with their sirens on, their lights on, and a whole bunch of pilot cars and whatnot, and maneuvering these gigantic pieces of bridge through the highway system. So that slowed me down a lot, actually, unfortunately. And now the wind has picked up a lot, so go figure. I-65 between Indianapolis and Chicago, pretty well known for side winds, and they always come out of the west going eastward, and they're always very strong and gusty, and that's exactly what's going on right now. So I've got the speed ticked down a little bit. In high wind, I do not go fast. You never know when some blast of wind will come out of nowhere and tip your ass over, and it's way too easy to have happen, and that's not going to be me if I can help it. So anyway, the other thing that I encountered, and I didn't have the camera on because it was almost right after coming out of Indy, coming around a bend, and at this point the traffic flow on I-65, everybody's, I think the slowest person is doing about 65 miles per hour. So it's, you know, flow of traffic is 65 miles per hour and up. You know, obviously a lot of cars going a lot faster than that, a handful of trucks going a little faster than that. But basically a good solid flow at 65. And come around a corner and everybody's on the brakes. I mean, panic brakes, like hard braking. Like, holy crap. So, you know, I jump on the hooks and everybody's blindsided. I figured, Jesus, you know, what is it, an accident or something? Or somebody's car stall in the lane, or what the hell? And it all ends up being a person who I shall not describe in a prime truck in the right lane. I kid you not, driving 50 miles per hour, with traffic coming from behind doing 65 plus. And I don't mean to single anybody or any group or whatever out, but this is not the first time I've seen this with Prime. I don't know what it is with Prime Inc., but evidently during the 17 years that they keep their trainees on a truck with a trainer, they indoctrinate them to drive not just slow and safe and careful, but so slow that they actually are a rolling hazard. They're literally rolling roadblocks. Every time I come up on these guys, everybody's hitting the brakes. Everybody's trying to change lanes to avoid them. And there they are in the right lane, putting along at, 10, 15 miles per hour under the flow of traffic. It's mind-boggling to me. How the hell are they? I don't know. I mean, I guess, the minimum speed on a highway is usually 45, so okay. And I get that, they probably, corporately they're saving a lot of money on fuel. Okay, I understand that. And you know what? Actually, come to think of it, it probably is helping them on safety as far as accident safety is concerned for their drivers, because they're the ones that are going so slow. But the question then becomes, how many accidents are caused by these guys because they are such hazardous roadblocks that they cause accidents with everybody in a mad dash to get around them, and people making frantic turns. And I couldn't get over because the guy on my side, if you can see in my rear view, was kind of blocking me. I'm sure he didn't see the police officer through my truck, so that's why he didn't give me room, even though I had my turn signal on. But it happens. I just slowed way down. So the rule is you either move over or you slow the hell down. So I slowed down. But at any rate, I wonder if anybody's keeping the statistics of how many accidents Prime has been part of, has been kind of like complicit in the fact that the entire snafu of what happened in the accident was caused by them driving so freaking slow. I mean, dangerously slow. I don't know. I don't understand it. All I know is that when I see a Prime truck ahead as I look long down the road, as you're supposed to, I really do. And when I see Prime up there, I'm immediately changing lanes. Immediately. Even though some of their owner-ups, their lease-ups, whatever, I guess they're not governed quite as hard or whatever. I've seen them doing 65, thank God. But their company drivers, holy crap. I think it's almost something where they should, how they have certain truck trailers, certain semi-trailers, they have those the upper top corner clearance lights in the back, the two top corner clearance lights up top. Some trailers, when you turn four-way flashers on, those two clearance lights up there in the corners, they also flash, as the four-ways do. I almost think that they should mandate that all Prime company drivers have four-way flashers on, top and bottom, as long as their truck is in gear. If they are moving forward, they should have four-ways on. They are that big of a hazard in my book. And this is just based on what I've seen in a little over a year driving. And it's consistently always Prime. Always. So again, I don't like to single anybody out, but it's kind of hard not to where they're concerned. And, I know that, like, Swift gets a lot of the brunt end of a lot of jokes in trucking. Everybody's always making Swift jokes. In my opinion, what I've seen from Swift is far safer than what I've seen from Prime. By a long shot. I think the jokes should be Prime jokes, not Swift jokes. But anyway, I digress. None of it is up to me. There's not a damn thing I can do about it. But it just something that I notice, and and I'm thinking, wow, I wonder how many accidents these guys cause by doing this. At any rate, I am not going to make it all the way up to my original stopping point. I had a lot of time eaten up by the weather, the wind, having to slow down, and also that construction traffic going through the outer ring of Indy. So I'm going to stop in, there's a Flying J in Hebron, Indiana. I've been to quite a few times before. Really nice. It's a big one. They got a lot of space. And I'm going to be shutting down at like, 4 in the afternoon. So no problem getting a parking space. And that way I can shut down early. I can be up at the crack of darkness at, whatever, 3, 4 a.m., something like that. And then be at my delivery up there in North Chicago, I believe it is. Up by the Wisconsin border at 8 a.m. I got an 8 a.m. appointment, so more than enough time that I'll have to make that, because from Hebron up to there, it's about a 2-hour drive at the most, unless there's some major traffic event. So anyway, I think we'll stop it there, and yeah, more later. See ya!